I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Good morning.
Good morning.
Finance. Good news or bad news?
I got great news. No, I got lots of news today.
Gary, I'm not going to admit you yet.
That's fine. I'm gonna start off with good news. You've heard it once, but I want to just say for the record, the TAN is paid off. We borrowed 5.5. We used 4.8, did not use 691,000. Interest payback was 123,000, 324.32 versus the quote of $365,000. So I'm pretty proud of that, and
Well done.
saved a little bit of money for us.
Yeah. Well
Which
done.
takes off the sweat a little bit.
Yeah.
Next is Camden National Bank. They have been covering us under the FDIC up to that 250,000, and they've been holding the bank securities for anything over that. She would like to transition us into an insured cash sweep. So X amount of dollars will be in a checking account, and then the rest of our funds will be held into a separate account, which just gives us better protection. There's a form that she needs me to fill out. I didn't feel comfortable doing it until I got your permission. So I would like a motion, if possible, to switch to the ICS.
That First National or Camden?
First National,
First National.
yes,
For our current accounts.
for our
They're
current.
not in a sweep account.
They are not.
I guess I thought they were, because
I
generally,
did
as a
too.
rule of thumb, we always do
Yeah.
that. So, yes, I'll make that a motion.
Okay,
Second.
Oh,
Any discussion? All in favor?
yeah. No, I just I thought we were.
Get the motion to put that into a sweep account.
Yeah.
Put the funds in at Camden Bank.
Yes. To
not
authorize
Camden,
Carrie,
First National.
to authorize Carrie to sign the paperwork.
Okay, she must have that in her notes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was always the opinion when they sent it over there, everything was in.
That's what I guess I did think that. It's my own fault.
No, I think they did not do that for a while, and they said that the bank is kind
Yeah.
of changing to the sweeps. So,
I think that's where, just where the banking business is headed.
Hmm.
It's not business as usual. It's
Yeah.
not really.
my next piece, on my agenda is TAN bids. Today, Monday was the deadline. I did extend it to Tuesday where I wasn't here on Monday. Key Bank did not submit a bid. Bangor Savings did not submit a bid. First National and Camden National were the two banks that submitted. Do you open them or do you?
You
want-
do.
I do. All right. So first on the list is Camden National.
And our request in the bid was
6
6
million.
million.
Yep.
Do we have any other stipulations? I know we had one crazy.
The
one
only
in there.
other one
Probably,
was-
Paul smiling, okay.
Was
Y'all
to-
kept your sense of humor, we had to put it in, but anyway, just do it. Yeah.
if the interest got just dropped drastically,
Refinance.
to refinance. And to touch base on that, I did ask First National, and they said that it's not a typical request. And if interest rates were to drastically drop, that they would probably go to the president to see if they could do anything for us.
I know, we, it was a shot in the dark, but
It was.
couldn't hurt to ask.
And Dan Pittman with Eaton Peabody said it. He's like, I've never heard of it, but it doesn't hurt to ask. So
Oh.
with that, this is the first time really seeing this. Interest rate through First National is 5.18%.
Yes, First National.
First National,
I bet you said it was Camden.
nope, sorry, First National, 5.18%. if the note was to be fully extended, the interest rate would result. Or the interest amount would be $308,245.48.
That's full term.
That is full term. And that is based on 6 million. So 6 million, 5.18%, 308,245.48. Now Camden National.
And Carrie, you see Paul is here if you had any questions.
Thank you. Paul. Again, for a $6 million TAN. At a quick glance, 6.06%.
Carrie, where this is the first time that you've seen these, obviously, we don't necessarily take a vote on them right then and there today.
Okay.
We can wait so that you can study them or make recommendations further.
And I hope maybe Paul can clarify this, because it looks like there is a second option.
Just an option for the deposit accounts, that's separate from the dip.
Which is,
5.05% with collateralized deposits over $1 million.
what was that percentage again?
5.05%. And this offer is not contingent upon the TAN terms offered above.
Mhm.
Would you repeat that?
I'll read the sentence. It says, optional, Camden National Bank would be happy to offer the county of Waldo a deposit interest rate of 5.05% on collateralized deposits of 1 million. This offer is not contingent upon the tax anticipation note terms offered above. We would be open to discussing deposit opportunities in greater detail.
I would like to make a motion that we table these two until we can look them over a little more carefully and study them and ask some questions. Mr. Chair, is that okay?
Yeah, you wanna give a second, Benny?
Yes.
All in favor?
Thank you very much. Terry, when you get a chance, if you could make copies of those so that we can
Yes.
see them, and Paul, someone will be in touch with you.
Yeah, sounds great.
Thank you very much for
Thank
coming
you.
and Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Bye.
That's an interesting one. There's a lot of interest to be had on that.
It's saying, it's basically saying, even if you don't do the team, you can do the deposit.
We can make it, that's a lot of money to be made on our accounts, you know what I mean? So might be worth kicking around, you know, anyway.
Yeah. A few meetings ago, I mentioned Malcolm looking at our USB account.
Yeah.
He has reviewed the account, and is comfortable with closing and transferring those funds into First National Bank.
The USB account was where our health insurance
Yeah,
account used to be,
right.
and we couldn't close it
Right.
until
That's a
we,
good deal.
yeah. How
In
much was
fact,
it?
you had a conversation with Carrie yesterday, the day before, and we had initially broken up the first deposit. I told her to cancel out the one for the insurance and put on technology, because we're gonna need it, we got the final figures in. So technology would be the second payment, we could get 186 and do it for us.
Hmm.
Is that all right for the both of you?
Yeah, I guess,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So, a motion would be then to.
To
how
close, to go along, to close the USB account and transfer the money back into the First National Health
health account.
Right, okay.
How
that's
much,
what I would
it's
like
what,
to-
150?
Yeah, that's what it was,
157.
yeah. You made the motion,
157,000.
you seconded the motion, all in favor?
Yeah,
Thank you.
157,000.
yeah,
Yes.
okay, that's good.
So now pretty much everything is over in international now. Right?
Yes,
Negative.
no,
No.
No. So you still have some accounts in Camden National Bank.
No.
One of those accounts is the DA's restitution account.
Mm.
Those funds need to be transferred over to First National. They are no longer using Camden National. I've switched over pay mode accounts, which are state funds received to the county. And we have $12,000 sitting in
Camden National.
Camden National,
Restitution.
yes. Now, I thought everything has cleared that bank because it hasn't been touched in a while, and I just looked and 2 checks cashed out of that account.
So,
Out of
so
Camden.
here's my question, and refresh me if I'm wrong, I thought at any time you got a check from like the government or a court system or anything, there's always that little line on it that says after like 90 days or 120 days, like it's done, which would be an incentive to cash that check. I don't know.
Right, but-
Our checks don't clarify
Right, but I
that.
mean, if we haven't written checks on that account in 6 months. you
Why
know?
are they cashing the checks that were from October 22 and August of 22?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like,
And it
Yeah.
could be just could be a slip over, because I think it's automatically 6 months if not specified on the check. And if the check specifies otherwise,
Hmm.
but things happen.
I'd close it.
I'm closing it. down.
I would just close it. This is
Making a motion.
ridiculous.
I'm
And there
ready.
was another, wasn't there a general fund account? and a
There's
jail
the-
account?
We have 40. I think it's 43,000 in the county general fund that's sitting in Camden National. There is a jail general fund, and I can't remember off the top of my head how much is in there. And then you have this municipal now account, which I guess is associated with Camden Hill property.
Congress Street Hill property.
Okay.
Congress Street, which is no more. I didn't think, I thought we
No,
had,
it's still in existence. We talked last year about the fact that we do at some point need to close that. Carrie, did you want me to tell them how much is in that account?
2,900.
Yeah, 29,500.
Not 29,000.
we still need
I
that.
don't know,
We don't.
that was me.
Barb, why do we still need that account? Or do we?
It's just, this is leftover funds from the Brownfields grant.
Yeah.
And I was actually gonna address this in correspondence. Do you want me to talk about it now?
Chicken.
Yeah, I guess.
And we're all done with the brownfield.
Yeah, yeah,
It's completely
done.
closed, right?
But no, it isn't, because you still have the condominium arrangement up there.
Oh,
Yeah, and that, so that need. What kind of brought this to my attention again, we talked about it briefly last year, and then we all know this past year has been crazy. But a recent law has changed in Eaton Peabody, because they helped us set that all up. They sent us, it's just a canned message, but there's an additional type of reporting that's gonna have to be done starting in 2024. So it would behoove us to just, we don't fall under that criteria, but we need to get this taken care of anyway, because I don't know if you recall, we filed for a 5-year exemption of having to do an annual report, which cost us like, I think it was like $400 every year to do. This is the last year from 2023. So if we can focus in 2024, you're gonna need legal help to get this closed. I researched back through, and it was only ever supposed to be temporary. And it was supposed to be dissolved at some point. So that's where you need to dissolve the Congress Street Hill property and the condominium situation. And so if, we can try to focus on that in January.
Do we need a motion to do that?
Yes.
I make a motion that we dissolve the Congress Street Property LLC.
Second.
All in favor?
Yeah.
And for the time being, I guess I would direct Carrie to close that account
Yeah,
and
Right.
move it into the general fund, and if.
And I would recommend those funds, that $2,593 be used, put toward the legal fees to dissolve this.
Well, I
think
mean,
it's appropriate.
obviously, if she
Yeah.
puts it in the general fund
Sure.
and maybe you could make a note, Carrie, on it that, you know, any legal funds to finish this process, you know, would come out of the general fund or whatever. I don't think we need to create another account specific.
Now we have two accounts, Camden National that we need to close out. Now, we're gonna say now.
No,
right?
there's more, hang on.
So there's the so you've closed the brownfield project.
Yeah.
We're gonna close out the DAs,
Right.
then you have the county general fund and you have the jail county fund, and I apologize, I do not know off the top of my head what is in the jail
Mhm.
county fund.
I wanna say 8,000 something. I don't
how
know,
much, how much?
I wanna say like 8,000.
I just don't
You're not
remember.
buying any more tractors.
I
I don't know
can't-
why
I
I think
can't-
that, but I think all of those, I think for the time being, my thought. More than enough time has passed. I would recommend that she close the remainder of accounts at Camden National and either put them into the current corresponding accounts at First National. With the exception of the Brownfield one, that would just go into the general fund, because I can't see her creating another
Right.
account or
I
line.
think we might want, an executive session. For just a few minutes with Carrie, because I'd like to mention something else of closing accounts, I think,
Okay.
I don't know what.
I'm thinking he
what
wants
she-
a tractor, Betty.
No, I got tractors
Okay.
coming out of my ears.
Yeah, then I will motion for a quick executive session. Title 1 405 subsection, and put a question mark there, Susan.
Okay, give me a chance to.
Yeah.
Get these people out.
Bob, you can stay in here.
All
right, so
No, you can say too.
You can stay too.
you just want the.
I need to stop the recording and I need to take people out of, and put them in the waiting room. So-
Here's my deal,
Wait a minute,
Hang
wait a
Hold
minute.
on.
Hang on.
Gary, I can't see.
I'd like to get my
And
deal
it's in
out
there.
before Betty records it.
And it doesn't say the recording stuff. Okay.
Be right back.
I made a motion that we come out of executive session. Commissioner Johnson seconded, and it was unanimous. There are no motions to follow our executive session, just we continue with the action that we're doing where Carrie close out the remaining accounts that the county has had and held at Camden National.
And I'll second that.
That's not a
All in
motion.
favor?
Oh,
That
well-
wasn't a motion.
I thought we haven't made a motion yet before we went in, did we?
No,
To close these?
you made a motion to close the DA's restitution
Right.
account,
But
and you made a motion to
Close the
close
issue.
out the the brownfield.
Yeah,
right.
Okay, so I guess you're right, Betty. I
Right.
guess I should make a motion that we close the remainder of the accounts at Camden National. That there's been more than enough time.
All in favor?
And I need to revisit this large health bill that we received from the jail. So I obtained more information. We have a $10,000 bill that sits in front of us that needs to be paid. Come to find out, this was for an inmate that was in 72-hour hold, got sick, had to go to the hospital, had to have some medical procedures done. The 10,000 is at the rate of the state.
Yeah, Medicare.
Medicare.
Yep.
The overall bill before Medicare was 23,000. And we're looking at paying 10,000. I did talk to Ray Porter. He said he didn't have that kind of money in his account. And there is 0.246 reserves.
I'm looking here, 0246. Yep, that would be, yeah, and that's exactly where it should come from. 0246 would be the restricted reserve account for inmates.
And I was wondering if that's where I could take that $10,000.
I guess I would respectfully ask that, or direct Carrie to take and pay that medical bill from 0246.
There's one line, what is that line?
It's 0246 would be the inmate reserve account
Yeah,
for the town's
The reserve
57,000.
yeah, sure, yeah.
That's the reserve account.
I'm sorry.
Is that gonna be a motion, Amy?
Yes, it is.
And I'll second it.
All in
Take
favor?
the medical bill.
And the full amount is $10,718.90.
How much is it?
10,718.90.
Okay. Okay, that, okay.
Forget the 90 cents.
So yeah, I've got the 90 cents. One quick question. I have a motion to dissolve the Congress Street property. That's when you were discussing also the DA restitution funds. I don't have a motion about the DA restitution funds. Was there a motion made on that?
I believe. I think, but if not, didn't we cover it when we made the motion to close all of the Camden National accounts?
All right, so I don't know, okay.
Yeah, but we did make a motion. to
That's coming
dissolve.
out of the executive session, so that comes, okay.
That's the.
Oh, okay.
The TN request. TN request. And then I handed you the reserve breakdown and I just handed you the TAN request that we received. To go back to the TAN real quick. So with First National, you were looking at 308,000 in interest. With Camden National, you were looking at roughly $363,000 worth of interest.
Wait a minute, say that again. First National is 308
308.
and Camden,
Camden National, you'll be looking at 363,600. 363,600.
And we were not going to make a motion to it.
She tabled.
yeah, we did table it, but this is valuable information to have with a budget
Right.
hearing coming up.
Yeah.
Because remember, we
Right.
need to be able to say to them, this is what the interest is that we're looking at.
Thank you.
So Camden is $363,600, but there's money to be made on accounts that sit there too. Interesting. I want to look at those. All right.
There can be later discussion.
Thank you. All right, so I have two more things, but one is not mine, one is presenting for somebody else. So finally, I bring to you the county's accounts payable and the county's jail. I will do the jail first.
This is mine. Why do you steal my papers?
The jail accounts payable. $66,237.14. Jail payroll is $54,994.26. For a total of $121,231.40.
Motion,
I'll make that motion.
Second.
all in favor?
I,
Oh, thank you. You saw I paused because it's like,
I messed up, so it's 994.
oh, okay.
Susan,
Yes.
you know, if we don't get this, this one. We're gonna get.
Oh, yeah, she's gonna give me notes and I have copies for her.
Right, no, I appreciate it. I'm just trying to,
And then
getting used to doing, yeah.
We've told poor Susan she doesn't need to be in here. That from now on, we'll scratch stuff down or whatever. I'm sure she's.
she's doing a good job.
Yeah.
The county accounts payable. $226,537.29. County payroll, $210,990.75. for a total of $437,528.04.
So.
Okay. All in favor?
Do you have year to dates for us? Oh.
I will get those to
Oh
you.
my God. Please. Betty used to tease me about my highlighting skills and ability, and I'm denied that.
I'm sorry. I will make sure you will not deny. I will go right when I am done. I will go right out and get right out. And I will skip right back in.
I'm gonna make a motion to accept the, and file the finance report.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Is that it?
Thank
Carrie?
you,
Wait a minute,
Commissioner.
don't you got more?
So I am going to pretend to be Chris Bryant right now.
Hello, Chris.
Hi. He could not be here. He's in training for the next couple of days. And he asked me to present the duct cleaning that happened at the jail. That bill came in at $8,500. And he'd like to know where those funds are coming from.
Well.
8,500 you said.
Cleanups. So that's what he asked me to ask you is, where's the money coming from?
But, how's this account doing?
We don't know. We don't have a year to date. I think let's hold off until Carrie can get us a year to date.
I will
on
get
that
you a year to
account,
date.
Whatever.
Yes, okay. And I will go right out now.
Theoretically, Carrie, there should be money in that account to pay that.
Facilities, all other.
So
Yeah.
it is all done though, huh?
It is all done. Yes, to my knowledge, it is. I believe they actually worked on it right before Christmas. They were working on it, not Christmas, sorry, Thanksgiving.
Backup idea would be to take it from
Uh,
facilities all over, but there
Or-
should be money in that.
Or Bill, I'm
Account to-
looking right now, Carrie, check 0248. When you get a second, I think. That's jail improvements.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, yeah.
If you check that, I think that's where, and then we'll do a motion at some point so that.
Oh, yeah, there is $80,000 in zeros.
Okay, then I'm gonna make that a motion that we pay the HVAC bill. Out of the jail 0248 account.
Okay, I'll second that.
Oh, different.
8,500, you said, Carrie?
Yes.
And how much is it?
80,000. I know, I'm keeping them running tally here. So.
Right, yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
We'll see
You're
you-
welcome.
We'll see you in a little bit, right?
Yes, I'll skip in with those for you.
So, Annette, I guess is up next.
Yes.
Oh, you were way for it.
Oh, yeah.
Don't have to say that.
Good morning.
So, I am very quick.
I don't know if I like that table like that. I mean, for the budget committee, it's
Yeah.
perfect, but it just seems so far away.
Hi from down here.
Could you hear Barb when she was talking?
Yes.
You could?
Yeah.
Okay, because I didn't know if we should make people come.
I
up
wondered
front.
about that. too, Yeah. so,
Yeah.
Good.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Annette. Good
Oh,
morning, good morning.
Yeah. So I have, first and foremost, two of the dispatchers have, that was hired this past summer, have advanced in their training. First and foremost is Devin Fairbrother, has completed his required training and now moves to class 2 dispatcher. His new hourly rate will be $20.43.
So noted.
And so.
Congratulations.
Yes, and Daphne Manuel has completed her training and is eligible for her second installment of her sign-on bonus, which is $4,000. And her rate of pay will stay at $20.43.
What was the stipend amount that we were giving, that we were doing?
We're stopping the sign-on bonuses,
Yeah, what
January
was-
2024. We're stopping the sign-on
Right,
bonus.
but what was the amount that we were doing in these? I don't recall.
These were 15,000.
Okay.
That must be about the last one in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
category.
Yes, these folks, so we have, there's 3 that are eligible to continue into their sign-on bonus.
So
So
noted.
no,
So
no.
then,
And the detectives, we'll go into that, they have a different sign-on bonus, they came in with the revised sign-on bonus effective July 1 of 2023. And theirs is 10,000 and it's paid over installments and years of service. So these 2 folks are detectives. Detective Carrie Libby has completed her modified training because she came as a blueprint and experienced detective. She's eligible for the $1,000 sign-on bonus. It's her first installment. And the same with Detective Zane Loper is also eligible for the $1,000 sign-on bonus.
So noted.
That's all I have.
That's it.
That's it.
thank you.
Well, thank you very, very much.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
And I have those typed up too, for us, things that are not, email
Perfect.
those to you, so you can cut and paste.
Thank you.
Different angle.
I'll move closer.
Good day, Dale. I know, I'm deaf and blind. It's this old age is like, yeah. Golden years, my butt. Good morning, Dale.
Good morning. So the first thing I have is we have been several months working on a Waldo County School Safety Mutual Aid Agreement. And what this does is we kind of took the model of the countywide firefighters agreement and we've done a countywide school agreement. So all the schools are now signing on board. They can help one another.
So it's like a mutual aid.
Yep.
Oh.
And also, the sheriff's office and EMA are looking to be a part of this agreement too. And so, I've done it up for your signatures. It's looking to include RSU 3 and 20 and 71, but also 22, which is the Hamden, because Winterport.
Certainly, yeah.
At 12 because of Palermo, RSU 12, and then we've included Alsboro, Northport, and Lincolnville, but they haven't been very involved. And we're also looking to include the Belfast and Sarasota police departments in this.
Certainly.
So
Does Stockton Springs still have police?
How they,
Does Stockton Springs?
you've talked to the schools and things, how
Yeah,
have
I
they
think you have a.
accepted any doing something
Yeah.
like this?
the schools that have been attending have been amazing. And we've been doing joint training and we've been doing, we're looking to hopefully do some
And
exercise.
they're finding that it probably is gonna be very beneficial, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, that,
Because sometimes they.
well, whether it's schools or fire departments, nobody is staffed.
Thank you.
Nobody is staffed for a disaster. Even fire departments, you know, they're disaster for the day-to-day type stuff that's going on. When something big happens, they're not staffed for that. And schools are the same way. If they need more school nurses or school buses or, you know, whatever. This agreement is to allow them to work with each other, sending those resources much
Which
quicker.
only makes sense.
Right.
They're in the same business.
And then I had agreements in the past between myself and the school districts, and we've included that in here too. Using
Okay,
their-
so that,
We're using their
because I know you
facilities.
had that before with individual schools.
Correct.
Right.
And now we're all just signing on to one.
Yeah,
I-
that's
you know,
on page 3. That's
Whether it's to use their facilities or whatever, you know, for shelters and different
Good.
things.
Yeah, great.
We've been having monthly meetings for the last year or so. We had meetings going before COVID and then everything came to a screeching halt. And then it wasn't until basically a year ago that we were able to get them started again. They're very well attended. And they're finding, you know, we'll spend a half an hour on agenda and then half an hour, they just network on between themselves. So it's really turned out to be really, really beneficial. We call it the Waldo County School Safety Task Force.
you really have covered, I mean, because I'm always thinking like, God, who can sue me? But,
Yeah.
which is very sad, but you have to
Yeah.
nowadays, and I like how each member is responsible.
And this
but-
has actually been reviewed by the law firm that all the school districts use. RQ 71 sent it off to get reviewed.
This
They
is excellent.
provided comments. And then the other districts were like, well, there's no sense in sending it to ours because we shall share the same lawyers. I did send a copy too in your email earlier this morning. So if you want to go back and take a look at it, it's there.
You want us to sign this today, Neil?
If you could,
I will make a motion that the commissioners sign and approve the Waldo, Betty, what is it?
Waldo County's school safety 2023 mutual aid agreement.
I'll make that my motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
That's excellent. Very good, Dale. Thank you.
And there is a copy for us to,
once I have the signatures, I'll send out a digital copy to everybody.
I'll let you sign first.
Amy, you made that motion, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you got a second. To approve the aid agreement, okay?
Sure, thank you. The next, piece I have is on the, deeds project and district attorney's projects. I've been in conversation with Art Lambeth. They're hoping next week to have the final figures, cost proposal to do the work, up there. They're still trying to finish up stuff elsewhere. I know they've been working over at KSW.
Are they working up there now, Dale?
No, they're still finishing up elsewhere. I'm hoping next week to have the proposal for their work.
So we can't even start demolition up there?
Well,
I'm telling you, give me and a bunch of angry women some
No.
sledgehammers. We'll,
I tried.
we
to
can get that stuff done.
I tried to get them to do it early and they said, no, they just soon mobilize once, get in there, do it. And they said it'll take them a few days to demo, so it won't add a huge bit to them. And we found that over next door when we did the demo over here. Dennis with a couple of guys had it all done in a couple of days, so it didn't.
So Dale, what date do you think both places will be done?
I'm looking for, and I have a schedule in here, that I've attached, for the deeds thing. I'm hoping that will be done before the end of January.
Awesome.
Deeds.
Very good.
The deed,
Awesome.
For deeds. DA, we haven't started yet. So it could take, if it takes 3 months, if they start beginning of January, and it takes 3 months, it's gonna be the end of March. If it takes 4 months, it's gonna be the end of April.
Well, yes, we kind of dates that March 31st or 30th is kind of a cutoff date that Belfast wanted with their deal.
Yeah.
So,
I don't have an answer for you. I don't know how long it's gonna
okay,
take.
no, Dale, it's not your
And-
fault. It's not your fault.
I don't know.
If they have to,
nobody,
how
they
long
might
it's
be
gonna
just relocated for the time being with their computer sitting here. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. start.
Cause
You set them up in the warehouse. Deeds won't be a problem. They'll be out and they'll be operating and
Yeah.
they'll be moved on, but you've got that one side of that ground floor building or first or second floor, whatever you call it. That the district attorney will still be occupied. Hopefully they can get in sooner. I just don't know because I don't know when they're gonna start. I don't know how long it's gonna take.
no, that's not.
I'm guessing, conservatively, I'm guessing, it might be the 1st of January and it might be 3 or 4 months. So it's gonna be really, really close. Along those lines, though, I've got some handouts here. We're also not gonna have enough money. But if with your, okay, the page 2 is the actual, work that's being done at the deeds office. What's been accomplished so far, what's in progress and what's to be done. The only thing that won't be done in the deeds is the exterior door. That's gonna be a special order. Has to be made, and we don't even know what materials that we can make it out of.
Where are you putting in an exterior door for these?
As you're coming in the door from the street, there's a door right to the
Yeah,
left.
there's a door there.
Right.
There's already an exterior
It's in
door.
real bad shape.
It's not
with-
falling off the hinges or. I don't
Almost.
think- Okay.
Well, the door, the lock itself doesn't work, so they got a deadbolt above that. It's single pane glass and it's not weatherproof at all.
How much is another door?
I don't know. Viking is supposed to give an estimate to me, a proposal for that. But that would be, and we won't get it before Dennis leaves, Dennis Price, so it would have to be done in the spring. That won't hold up them moving in.
He's good, moved that along, hasn't he?
Yeah, yeah. And today the ceiling tile folks over there putting up the grid, ceiling grid. The next, the third page is the actual expenditure to date on deeds and DA. Excuse me, no, just deeds. And right now, we had a budget, and that's what the front page is. The budget for deeds was 150. The budget for DA was 250. And then we had solar for 180, and then we had a contingency of 145. Because everything is going over on deeds and DA, I've moved that 145 contingency and split it between those two, but we may need another 130 to make it happen. And what I'd like to do, with your permission, is to move it from the architect engineering line. There's 160,000 there. If we could just move.
Which we no longer are utilizing the
need.
services of an
Right.
architect.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So
that's
if we moved 130,000 over to that line, then there would, the pucker factor would be taken out of this.
Let's do it.
Is that a motion, Bill?
Yeah,
So Bill's made a motion that we take from the architect line. 130.
And that's
I'll second that.
line 3, or project 3, and it'd be
all right,
project 2.
Peter. Okay, you all set on that?
So
deal?
I'll work with Carrie to update the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
To move the 130 from the architect for
So,
construction.
so far we've spent, I just say this to chuckle, but so far we've spent $2,000 on permits for the city of Belfast.
Yes, for
Notice that.
the district attorney's office. Now, there won't be, unlike deeds and EMA, where there was huge amounts of invoices, because everything was either being bought in or, paid for individually by contractors. It'll just be RH Lambeth. They'll probably charge us once a month. And then there will also be telephone and internet. That's separate. Ray Monreal will be doing that.
Ray's all done his work in there.
He has done the rough in. He has to go back in and do the finish, putting on the plates and all that. And I haven't gotten the bill yet for the wire on the piece. What I've got on that deeds piece is, to date, we spent 53,077. And then there's work yet to be done. And on the back page of that deeds thing is where that future work is coming from. What's in red is already in stone. And what's in black is my estimate. Now that could go down, the estimate. For example, the ceiling tile, I originally had 12,000 budgeted, and it came in at 7. So,
Wonderful.
so that came in under, although,
There'll be other things that are gonna be over.
yeah, I have no idea how long it's gonna take Dennis to do his piece, and so I kind of threw in a number there. I haven't got a number yet from the electricians. They've already done their rough in, but I haven't got that bill yet from them. And they have to purchase the lights. It'll be the LED 2x2 panels.
So the quote from Fox and Ginn for 8,900. Is that a quote or is that set in stone?
That is,
Is that just for moving deeds or is that for bulk?
that's just for deeds. Which one?
I'm asking on the quote.
Oh, yeah.
for Fox and Ginn. It's okay, Dale.
No, I got it right in here. It's, let's see. It's moving everything from deeds from their old building to the new building. Labor and transportation was 7,500, packing is 1,000. And then they got a miscellaneous fuels charge of 150. So actually it's 86.53.
86.
I put down 89 just
Yep,
as
nope, that's fine. So it is less than that. Okay, good.
but it is, a little bit less than that. They've got a bunch of big, heavy stuff to move and,
Oh, yeah.
I was fortunate we didn't really have anything individually too heavy, so. We have our own trailers, we moved everything, we moved EMA. But that's from Fox and Gann, and then they've got, a proposal from, WB Mason for furniture and installing it and, putting it all together like that, and that was 29, I think. 29,000 or something like that. WB Mason got 29,000 for that one. But,
What is that, replacing every bit of furniture?
they're taking some stuff, shelving and whatnot, but their current furniture is kind of mismatch, and they want to get the tables that move up and down like probate has.
That makes sense because, I mean, they do have to stand at times, it's a long day.
I think that's probably the biggest cost of the W Mason is the
Sit and
furniture.
stand, yeah.
But
Cool.
I'm very, 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 very certain that with the moving the funds from the architect line to the construction, there'll be more than enough and there'll be some left over. But right now, as you can see, I was like 12, I'm showing about 12 over on the Ds. I haven't got the district attorneys yet, and prices have just been coming in higher on some of these things. But I think that's all I've got. Unless there's other questions. We still have some stuff going on at EMA. In the spring, we'll be doing another layer of pavement. Guardrails coming in a couple of weeks. There's some places I need to go.
Are they gonna put them in this one?
Yeah,
Cause
they drive metal poles into the ground and then the wood piece goes down over the top of it.
oh,
And then they attach them.
yeah, no, there's a couple areas I'm thinking, oh yeah, somebody's going in.
Well, and we've got our generator, the transformer, and the well are all right on the side of the parking lot, and we've already almost had somebody hit the well.
Are you serious?
That's why there's a guardrails. I mean,
Those dummy poles. or-
the construction. Why am I having the A-frame with a piece of barricade? I'm having a brain fart here. Traffic barricade. I have a traffic barricade in front of the well
Because somebody hit it.
someone almost hit it. Someone screamed at holiday stopped, and they were stopped. They were an inch away from it.
Wow.
So then the next minute I went up and got the traffic barricade and put it up in front of
And then you banned them forever coming back there. Yeah.
it. So, yeah, so, and we've got some more site work to do out there for the drainage and whatnot, but
We're still talking about a little building, the fuel
Yeah.
deal,
yeah, and that'll be out back of the
Brian,
the barn,
yeah, we've got it.
the storage building there. One thing that we did with the storage building was not only did we ran electricity to it, so there's electricity and lights and all that in that building now. We put in gutter on the back side, and we put in an under drain that the gutters tie into
Yeah.
and lead down to, so there won't be any more water going out the back of that building and eroding that area back there.
Your pond deal's working well,
Very, very well.
good.
As a matter of fact, the civil engineer asked for aerial imagery of that, and we had John Butler take some drone shots for us of the site. I'll send it to you. And he wants to put it on his website because he said this is a project where they actually built it the way they're supposed to have built it.
Yay.
So the engineer is excited, the DEP folks are excited about seeing what we put together. And Wade had never done it before, but he's just really, really good site work guy.
No, it is magnificent.
And we tested out the dry hydrant already too, and that works.
Good.
What's the hand pump on the well work?
That actually
Does it have to be powered to work?
No, it's all
Okay,
hand
good.
crank, and there's a relief point about 4 feet below the ground surface where the water drains back down to, so they won't freeze.
Okay.
You have to, instead of just pumping and water instantly coming, you have to pump it about 3 or 4 times.
Right,
and
right,
then water
create
starts
suction.
coming. But you're only
Right,
pulling it
yeah.
another 4 feet,
Oh,
but it stays down below the frost line.
oh, I just think that's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, that was a great plan, Dale. Well done.
And that was that's all stainless steel, so it won't sit there and rust either.
Oh,
All right.
I have nothing further, Dale.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dale.
the money going from the architect, that 130,000, is that going into general fund?
That's that's gonna go into another ARPA
Into
account,
ARPA?
another ARPA
It's-
line.
It's all, yeah, it's the same checking account, it's just how we track it.
Yeah, Dale can give you clarification, Susan, if
So, here's what we're gonna do.
So just say.
We're gonna take a break,
130 is for.
5 minute break, and if, Mr. Martin doesn't show up, it's Mr. Case.
are you Mr. Martin?
I'm Mr.
He's here.
No, okay, you're from, I thought you were Frankfurt.
It's okay, but
It's okay with,
Dennis.
no, that's,
we're water case.
if we could still do a 5 minute break, because I wicked need a cup of coffee. Would you like coffee?
No, thank you.
Want to do a 5 minute break?
Yeah,
Motion, 5 minute break.
you can have a chair up
Yeah,
here.
come on
if
up
you like.
here. We're very informal. Sorry about that. Saw your face.
Hearing was scheduled for 10 o'clock, Roger Martin in town of Frankfurt. This is Commissioner Johnson on my right, Commissioner Fowler on my left, and Bill Shorey. The petitioner will first present the case and evidence, after which the defendant and commissioners have an opportunity to question. Second, the defendant will then present the case and evidence, after which the petitioner and commissioners will have an opportunity to question. We were recording on a digital audio recorder, so therefore we ask that you all speak one at a time. The person trying to transcribe this tape will not be able to distinguish the voices of more people talking at two people more talking at once. The audio recorder can not pick up measurements which shown by hand, so you must give distances verbally by feet, yards, etc. You cannot shake your head from side to side or up or down. You must answer yes or no. After the commissioners have made a decision, which may or may not be today, either party may apply this decision to the Superior Court, the state of Maine, in accordance with the Maine revised statutes, Title 36, 844, and the Maine Rules of Civil Procedure. Do you understand these instructions?
No.
Sorry, I came to the front door, top my bed.
Okay, please stand to be sworn in.
Yes, sir.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear the evidence you're about to give is true and to the best of your knowledge?
Yes,
Yes.
Yes.
Say your name.
Roger Martin.
Michael Shaw.
Evelyn Adams.
Okay, thank you. The petitioner may start your case.
Well, just petitioning that the buildings on this property are not worth $14,000. I haven't got the exact figures because I haven't got the paperwork. I turned it into you.
Okay,
And they're falling down. They are very indifferent. If the property was to be sold, there is no value in either building that is on the property. They was at $10,000 and they've upped the value, and it's just not there. There's nothing there, and I tried to get them to come out and look at them, and they wouldn't even come out and look at them. There's holes in the roofs. The floors are, they're just to the point where they're falling down. There's nothing of any value there. The only reason I haven't torn them down is I haven't had the time or the money to take them down.
Mr. Chair, if I may ask a
Yes,
question. What were they valued at prior to? I'm assuming.
They was valued at 10,000 and they upped them a certain percentage.
25%. Yep, everybody in town, 25%.
So they were at 10,000.
I believe is what the
Yeah.
value, and they went to up around ground floor permit.
When were these buildings last used?
Last used,
Yeah.
The pictures.
I moved my mother out of them in 2011 because snakes was moving in.
Oh.
And I used them a little bit for storage, but now they're not even fit for storage.
Oh.
I mean, there's some stuff in there that I have to get out, but it's not of any great value. Most of anything in there is just stuff that will be thrown away or hauled in for junk.
Is it just one building or more than one?
There's two buildings.
Two buildings?
Could I ask
Yeah.
a question? What is the date of these?
Pictures, they was taken just before I brought them down and turned them in.
So this fall.
This fall.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No,
You people have any questions from?
In those pictures, make the place look better than
Yeah.
what they'd have to do if you walk through it.
No.
Walking through it is very scary.
Okay, there's two different buildings, right?
it's like a barn and a house.
It's an old garage and a
Okay.
house.
Yeah.
Right, I'm trying to distinguish which building is what. Okay.
Did the, Mr. Chair, if I may ask of the town,
Sure.
did you folks do a reevaluation? Or what brought you to increase it by what you did?
We increased it because of sales, have gone up. And we have to keep up with a certain amount of money for the state.
Could you
and
speak up a little bit, please?
Oh, we have to go up on them because of our state value. And we thought that 25% would take care of it all.
So you increased everyone's taxes by 25%?
Correct.
The value?
Yep, across the board.
And you are Mr. Shaw?
Yes,
And you are,
selectman and assessor as well.
you're a select, so, and this is Frankfurt?
Yes.
So the selectmen are also the assessors?
Yes, all three of us.
Boy, that's a thankless job, isn't it?
You are not wrong.
I was a selectman a long time ago.
About that.
You want your neighbors to hate you.
Right.
There you go.
And we
Pretty
tried to
close.
behave.
No, it's a tough position for everybody around.
There's no doubt.
We do understand that, we do.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help the real estate market that we've been in when houses
Exactly.
that aren't worth 50,000 all of a sudden sold for 210.
We're seeing a lot of that in town right now.
Yeah.
All of our new builds. Yep.
I know a small town that a piece of property sold for $1 million. Do you know what it's
And
doing?
try to keep up with the homestead and veterans exemptions.
Mhm.
Do you have any more questions you want to ask for?
Have you guys talked to each other?
I went out to talk to them one night and they told me to fill out papers. I turned the papers in and they refused them completely. Wouldn't even come and look at it and told me to bring it to the county commissioner.
So when he came in that night, we did explain to him how we have it assessed and how the assessments work and if it has, the criteria that we're bound by the state of Maine. We did go over all that. He didn't agree to the increase, which we did across the board, so I can understand his frustration there, but everybody's on that same burden, so we did go through and we have it, I believe we have it down to like a 2, it's almost as bare minimum as we can tax, as long as it's got 4 walls and a roof, we're pretty much where we're at, unfortunately. We did advise him to tear it down, but he said he doesn't have time, so we couldn't do anything there either. At this point.
Yeah.
Or at least, make it. So
Fall
we can't
down.
tax for it, right?
Make it fall down.
Knock a wall, knock something
The
off,
roof.
Take
right,
the roof off.
take the
Get
roof
rid of the
off,
roof.
Oh, yeah.
and we're done. You know,
I am gonna
that's-
say just out loud, because I was a farmer and I had a great pole barn that needed to go and I kind of hoped the wind or the snow at one point
Yes.
would do it. Wouldn't, and they were still taxing me. And finally I knocked the roof down because that's what.
Yes.
Well, as you can see, there's holes in.
She is going, she's getting there.
The roof, there's holes in the roof.
It looks like somebody, and I would not want to walk into it.
Yeah, no.
It's very scary to walk in. And like I said, I offered them to come in and look at it and walk through it just to see. But they didn't even tell me to take the roof off it. They didn't tell me. They asked me why I hadn't torn it down. That was all they asked me.
And again, I'm just gonna play devil's advocate, because I've sat in both of these
Yeah.
seats, and I'm thinking to myself, man, if we could just get back to the days where you could sit and yell at each other and then walk away and shake hands, you know? And it's difficult, because I do, and I'm not agreeing with either side yet, I'm just saying out loud, I understand your predicament. Because understand the state sets the valuation of a town based on property tax values. And they've got to keep up with stuff, but I also understand your predicament, because I'm looking at a structure that I don't even know if I'd put a $10,000 value on.
Like I said, it's something that if it.
But
It needs to come down. If it was to be, if it was something you sold, they'd tear it down.
oh, no, just for liability purposes,
Right.
but I mean, you know, and perhaps they hadn't said to you, maybe they hadn't had a chance, maybe they're just so frustrated with everybody else that's complaining about the 25% increase, I get it. Take the roof off it, because as long as there's a roof on it, there's a tax base to it, as crazy as it sounds.
Even with holes in the roof, correct? Even if it's got some holes, it's still,
Still
I
gotta
just-
take the roof off.
it's not the person, I just think we're up against what we are up against, unfortunately, for both of us at this point. 'Cause I would agree, from what I've seen of it, I wouldn't want to live in it either, but it is still there. I think that's the problem we have.
But I don't see, do I see in a denial from you folks?
There's one I sent it.
What's page?
sent it.
Yeah, thank you, Susan.
So you have a copy of the,
Yeah, I'm looking at it right here, yeah.
looking at the first page. See, I wasn't there the night,
No,
no.
How many selectmen do you have, 3 or 5?
3. Vaughn and I were present that night.
Yeah.
well, Vaughn wasn't there at that.
All right, it was just me until,
Jill and.
then he
Vaughn-
showed up, yep, my
Vaughn
bad.
came in after I left.
You're right.
So have you people made all the comments you wish to make and question from Mr. Martin
I don't
today?
think I have any more questions for you, Ron.
And ma'am, you don't have any more? Mr. Martin, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, I guess not, because I guess they basically told me that the only way they're gonna drop the tax is if the roof comes off. Because that was my other question, is how the.
Just to be fair, it's not us that's gonna take the tax off, it's the way the state's set up. I'm not trying to pick words, but I just wanna make sure you know it's not
That-
us deciding to go for you.
No, but I'm just.
Yeah.
Cause that was one of my, that's what I was trying to get at, is what was I gonna have to do to get this?
Yeah.
Because to me, it is something that is not.
Oh, it's, see,
Go ahead.
Well, the criteria that,
Speak about it.
oh, the criteria, we have a book we go by. So we have to follow them, and it's, we try to be fair to everybody that asks.
But-
If you just took the roof off it,
But it's.
one of those buildings out there has no value on it anyway, correct?
I was gonna say, at one time, I thought that, but at the same time, the garage, I think they took the value off when you had the professional
Yeah,
assessors come in,
But he also,
but at the same time.
yeah, he kept.
That's as low as you can go on a building, is
Yeah.
$14,000.
It's based off square footage, Roger.
Yeah.
It's based off square footage and
I don't
like,
know if those-
quality of the building, so I think we have you down to
Make a
2.
decision.
I think they, we gotta wait for them.
He still has a veterans exemption on the house.
Okay.
Okay.
Which is appreciated.
So I mean, if you took the veterans exemption off the house, it's
Mm,
not a lot of tax on the house. You see what I'm saying?
He probably doesn't.
No,
So
Maybe
the
explain a
exemption
little
is
bit better.
40, the exemption on that property is 4,500.
Yeah.
And that's all veterans exemption.
Right.
It's not, there's no
So in-
homestead.
no,
So in theory, without the veteran exception, it'd be $4,500 more. Yeah, it's crazy the way they have it set up, Roger. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just being real.
Come on.
I'm just being honest with you. It's very.
Yeah.
We had another person from town come in and we ran the math out with him with the book and he got done, he shook his head, he's like, I can't believe it's worth that, but that's what the book says, so.
What exemption was this for?
He has a veteran's exception on the home.
Veteran, but that doesn't come off,
Well,
that stays on.
remember, for our public purpose, we're being voted nowadays, we're being videoed.
Mhm.
But, no, they're doing a huge favor here with the veterans exemption and I'm. Because that,
Which we're great for, we're good with it.
right, right, and no, I appreciate this on
So
his
you're not
behalf,
doing what the.
because generally you
veterans
have to reside.
That
to get
stated
the veterans.
that, how much is supposed to be off. If you get, usually to get a, VA exemption.
Mhm.
Yeah, you have to fill out papers. Yeah.
Mhm.
Which I assume he did.
At
Well,
one
his
point, his mother did,
did.
yes.
Yeah.
His mother.
And we've left it on there,
Yeah, you left it on, thank
Yeah.
you, that's a good thing.
very much so.
And so that can't be taken away. By you.
The way I understand it, if the person who the exemptions name is still in Frankfurt, we have to leave it,
Correct,
and that's fine. We're good with that.
which is a good thing.
So you mean when the house is down, that comes off?
Exactly.
Right.
The house
So
goes
the
down.
house is still up.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one of the building he's concerned with the evaluation.
I mean, if you took both buildings down, there's still stuff.
He's not taxed on one of them, right?
Yeah, I mean. $43,000 of that is land.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The only
And you
thing,
don't
I
have-
wasn't complaining on the land,
No,
but I was just
Yep.
complaining on the
I
buildings
get
itself.
it.
So,
The land was not an issue.
so Roger, just so I can be clear, and you don't have the same papers that we're looking at, so that bugs me. So
I don't have them. in
That's
front of
okay,
me,
I'm
but
coming
I
down
do-
here.
I've seen
So,
them.
and what I'm looking at is a copy of his tax bill.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so. So they've upped the buildings from what used to be 10,000 to
up to the-
13,995, which is a 25% increase.
Exactly.
Right,
And see, this is that veterans
Right.
exemption.
right.
So when you were paying 10,000 on those buildings, you were okay with that?
Well,
No, I get it. Ah,
cause I went, cause they was higher and we went out, we got them down to the 10, which I thought that was still a little bit much, but I left it alone. But
that
now,
25%.
but now the house is gone a little bit further downhill and then they upped it.
Yes.
Then they upped it 25%. It's like, this has got to stop somewhere. I mean, they're going downhill and they're going up.
and that's understood, but again, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. This isn't their game.
Yeah,
They're just playing by the rules that are
Right.
handed to them. So. What if the roof comes off?
We take the buildings off. And the veterans exemption.
And understand that is. And I could be off on my laws. It's been a few years since I played that game.
But that does have to be. a
But
bill.
I believe that. That actually should have probably been removed.
Yeah.
Long before now, by.
So the 4,000 we went up on the buildings, if you tear them down, we're gonna add another 4,500 to the land value at that point. I don't know, we'd have to, anyway,
Well,
in theory, it could go up by that exemption, so I don't know, for sure, but we'd have to look into it, Roger, but it may not be just a flat decrease, it may be staying close to where it's at, which I don't know for sure. We'd have to look at it, but just so
and see that.
we know it's there.
And I know, the 45 is actually not the total veterans exemption, because that's where we were trying to do with the 25%. And we talked to her, an assessor about it, a person that does it, and that's what she told us to do, to try to keep up with these I mean, we've had a garage in town sell for $1 million.
And
And it's
that,
not worth it.
that puts it to everybody, it really does. People don't realize.
I mean, it's awful.
The state takes the 4 highest real estate sales in a town,
Yeah.
and that's how they set the value of a town.
Yeah.
So, you know, if somebody goes and sells a house that's not worth 50,000 for 250,000,
And we've had that happen.
everybody I think has.
Yeah.
So it doesn't do anybody a favor except the guy that sold and got out.
Yeah.
Right.
Usually.
Is there any way that, we can work this out between you and Mr. Martin, so everybody is happy?
Um,
I'm not sure what that, like, how would that look, I guess? Because if
Well,
we're quite informal.
yeah, so I'm very new to the game. I've been here less than a year. So if we were to not say take the 25% off that we added to his bill, what prevents everybody else in town from coming here and getting this?
This is true. Nope, you're absolutely right.
That's my question.
Nope,
It's
you're
not,
no, that's a legitimate
and again,
question.
sorry, I'm very new to it and I just like to
But
know what I'm
it's
signing up
true.
for. 'Cause
No, it's very.
if it was that easy, probably
everybody
make it
would-
work, right?
But I guess
I just don't know how
I
that.
always would think of it as case by case. Every situation is
It
different
is.
and
It's
unique. This is
Right.
a situation, the way I see it, of a structure that is, it's not. It's not livable,
Correct.
nor is it safe or anything else. I do. So therefore, to me, I mean, I look at the value, I understand why you did it. And I know, I get it, it's got a roof, which is crazy as ever. It is, it's crazy, because it's not like somebody's moving in there tomorrow,
Mhm.
or even in 6 months. But I think the old days where you could say to them, Roger, take the roof off.
Yeah.
You know, they're gone. We don't communicate like we used to.
Yeah, but it's true.
But yeah, so in a situation like this, I'd say, Roger, take the roof off. And we'll work with you on that number. And just know that, okay, maybe there's no value on the buildings. We get it. So you're gonna be like, yes. But in the next breath, they're like, but you ain't getting the veterans exemption anymore. You know, so I mean, it's a win.
It's close
but
to a
not
wall.
really a win.
I think you'd go up $500. What
I-
the way things work. We
Well,
knock the
I-
building down, then your exemption is 45,
Yeah.
and we up to 4. You're gonna have a $500 higher bill at the end of this. If we do it the way I think she suggested,
But I don't know what else to suggest.
which doesn't make any
No,
sense.
and
but
the
that's
reason-
what I'm hearing.
The reason I say, and I don't think there will be, by the value that you had, I don't really think, and you take the exemption away, I don't think there will be an increase, if any.
Okay.
And when others in town, you're right, because now your neighbor, she's sitting home and watching this because they're bored. I can't imagine, but anyway. She's like, well, I want an abatement, and you're gonna be like,
Yeah.
where's the roof? You know, I mean, so each situation is unique.
Well, thank you for explaining that. 'Cause I just, like I said,
In
very
my
new.
eloquent way.
Well, I just
I love it.
first time ever here, so it's like just know what I'm getting into before I speak.
I mean, they have to adhere to the laws that are handed down by
Oh, I
the Revenue
understand.
Service, which
I
a good
understand.
part of them make no sense.
And it's a very hard job. Not that I'm saying.
A lot of towns, that's why a lot of towns have gone to hiring a private assessing firm.
Yep.
Which
Everyone around us
causes
has one.
significant money. Then your taxes are gonna go up. 'Cause they gotta
Yeah,
pay.
because it's expensive. Very
What do you guys use for a program, a tax assessment program? Do you use Trio?
Yes.
Okay, yep.
Yep.
I've rambled. What is your? Don't rip the roof off.
Roger, how do you feel about doing anything, well, removing the roof, any of that?
Well, if we get much snow, the roof may be removed by itself. Because
Hopefully,
as you can see, there's quite a hole there already started
You know anybody with a pulp truck?
now.
But it
Yes,
wouldn't be hard to take it off with holes in it, if you're saying that.
Well, it's a matter of doing it then.
Just having the time. I think that was.
No,
That's what he was up
I think
against.
we all get that.
When he came in and talked to me that night, that's what you're up against is the time. You just don't have the time to do it.
Yeah,
That's,
but to save.
Yeah.
Value, I mean, to take the value off. I
Is there-
find it hard.
Is there a way we could give him an estimate of what it would save him if the buildings were removed before we make it, or we can't do that?
Well, if the buildings are removed,
right?
it'd be
Can we crunch that figure real quick?
13,995.
So I come off and then 45 will go back, right?
Yeah, but the 43 will stay.
Correct.
Yeah, but the 45 came out of here, out of the buildings. The
Okay.
exemptions on the
So-
building. Yeah. So
Pardon
he'd
me.
be okay. He's gonna get a tax bill just for the land.
Yep.
Yep.
So the land would be the 43,
Yes.
Yes.
whatever the 43. is.
So my quick math, just look at it before I speak for the town, that'd be the new, oh,
Whatever the
that would be the new bill.
rate of the per thousand.
If you took the buildings off,
That
you're
would-
gonna automatically lose this, so I think it's included in the 13,995, the veterans exemption. Would you
Mhm.
say yes?
Right.
Right, so well, 6 1/2 of the other, because I'm taking the
Yeah.
whole and I'm adding it back, so.
Yeah, so it's gonna just
It'd
leave,
be about 33.7.
so it's gonna leave the land.
Yeah, so whatever the land is, 43,000.
Yep.
And then whatever the tax rate times that is.
The mill rate is
Yes.
12.25.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow, that's really good.
Yes, I mean, we try real hard, really.
Holy cow, that's really good.
Lowest around, not to brag.
No,
No, you should.
Right now, right
Yes,
now.
I
It has
literally-
been-
That's what,
It has been higher than that.
that's what this year's 25% increase too.
Yeah.
We try.
So what would the tax be then, with, the house removed? And the VA?
She would just leave the land.
Roger, are you willing to do any of this?
Oh, it looks like I'm gonna have to.
Well, that's,
Well,
that was a loaded question. That was a load, so. If the,
Yeah, I'd like to get, I would like to settle it today.
no, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, 1000%.
So. You have until April 1st to report any changes to a property,
Correct.
and that's how they assess and create your tax bill. That's how you got this, because you still have a roof.
And then we do also send out anything, if we ask if anything's changed between the dates. And if they don't come back, we assume nothing's changed. And it says right on the form, if you don't do that.
Yeah.
Then we can,
And if you
no
don't-
request was made
Yeah.
on that form. Moot point, I mean, we're here now and we're more than willing to work with him as much as we can, as long as we're not gonna put the rest of the town's properties in jeopardy by doing so as a favor. I think that's what we're concerned with.
So when you say you work with them, what are you gonna do?
So I think the ball is right now in Roger's court, and I.
Right,
I feel like-
respectfully, I think it has been, we're like, hey, do this and we'll, so I just don't know. If you can get the time and what the time frame would look like, I don't know how the commission sets.
If on or
the time
before
frame-
April 1st, the roof comes off, caves in, falls down. One, I think that makes next year
That's next year's fix,
another gain.
but this year's, I don't know how that would work.
This year,
Uh,
and this is the year that you're,
Having the
you're-
issue with, yes.
and.
so
well,
if you were able to. Get the old bigger where the roof was kind of cave.
Yeah, cause it's a moot point now, because if he takes the roof off now, it's.
it doesn't technically,
That's
so
right, so we're,
I'm to evade it. With the roof gone.
So here's where I'm not popular, because I'm not politically correct, and I don't say probably what I should say.
I don't think any of us in that table are.
I'm just gonna say it. Roger, unfortunately, you didn't know about the whole roof thing, because I bet if you did, you probably coulda, woulda, shoulda took the stupid roof off. Now you know. Get the roof off. And that's not your fault for not telling him, because you have enough disgruntled people in Frankfurt, I'm sure. So
Well,
here's my,
To a point, I think we probably would have explained a
Oh,
little bit
there's
better
always-
to him that,
well,
I just didn't know it, sitting there by myself that night, to be honest.
that you could, because again,
Correct.
nowadays, you never know what you can say, what you
So he
can't.
wasn't told that at all.
But
That's
technically-
why he didn't tear it down.
No.
He said he didn't have time.
Yeah.
But I wasn't educated enough to the fact that if he took the roof off,
Yeah.
that they couldn't null the building up.
But tear it down means tear down the building.
No, the roof.
The roof,
There's a
any-
roof, it's taxable.
Right,
Okay.
but what I'm saying is, he probably didn't understand that tearing down didn't mean tear down the whole building. If it just take the roof off, maybe that would have been different. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Right.
just being,
No, you're
The
1,000%, and like I said, that's why I'm gonna own my part of it, that
Right.
maybe I didn't explain it well enough, because maybe I wasn't educated enough on the process.
Which is.
So that's perfectly fine for me to sit here and tell you,
So it'll change probably next year anyway, so.
1,000%.
So my thought process is, so this bill was created for this taxable year, which I get, you're right, I don't blame you. It's an increase of 25% on a structure that's not worth anything.
No.
But it is what it is at the end of the day. My thought process, Raj, I won't be your friend, is I'd go along with the town only because their hands are tied. They're stuck taxing on a property that they know isn't worth it, Raj, but they've got to, and that's why I asked, did you tax everyone equally?
Yeah.
25%. We've actually sat in hearings where they've said, we've had people that go, no, and it's like, no, if everybody is charged 25% more on their bill, then they did what was fair and equitable. Is it fair and equitable on this property? Probably not, but again, you got a roof.
Yeah.
So my thought in my mind is, I hate to say it, pay your tax bill for this year, you're stuck.
Oh, it's paid.
Get the, and I appreciate that, and they do.
Yes.
Get the roof off and notify them on or before April 1st. Take a picture, call them in, whatever, and this needs to be brought down to 0, because it, as far as I'm concerned, has no value.
If it's okay, and I don't know if we can. We'd be willing to drop the 25% increase on this, knowing he's gonna take the building down by April 1st. If it's still up, we'll have the same problem next year.
I'm loving that more.
Yeah.
What's the,
The town is willing to take the 25% increase on just
year.
this bill.
And
This
on
bill.
just the building.
Right,
Just
just the
the
building.
building.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then if the building
When the roof
roof's
goes,
gone by April 1st.
Yep.
No problem. If it's still standing like it is,
Yep.
we go back. at
We're
this
gonna
point.
back to the 20.
That
and
would be-
this is specific just because they, again,
Makes
and
sense.
again, just to this situation.
How much of the roof has to be off? All of it?
Yeah.
The boards, the,
Yes.
what?
I'm not educated enough to speak to that. I'm gonna let Evelyn tell you.
What needs to be off?
Well, all the shingles and there can't be a roof there.
Is that correct? No roof at all.
I'd have to look at the legality of it.
Yeah,
I
and
think,
I think probably if the
Hey.
trusses were there.
I
maybe-
think if the snow app caved that puppy in a little bit,
That'd be good.
we good, yeah, okay?
But
Cause I
that's
mean, that's
okay.
already started, if
We
you've
can-
seen the pictures.
We can look at what needs to be done so we can't tax that building before April, so we're on the same
We
page.
couldn't gather some locals for a good old bonfire, you know?
You know what?
The fire department probably burned it down for free if you didn't have stuff in there still.
There's not much in there, but there's a little bit of stuff.
So,
in that.
So Roger, they have just
Uh-huh.
proposed to you, sir, a wicked good deal.
Yeah.
They're willing to take the 25% off the buildings
Yeah.
for an abatement on just the 25% of the buildings, which it would be an abatement of 25% off 13,995.
Yeah.
For this year.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome, and then you'll make that roof
And
go
if you
away
want,
on
yeah.
or before April
If it
1st,
doesn't,
and
we're gonna go back to the 25.
yeah, and Roger, no, because they don't have time to notify you, and mail and postage and everything is
Right.
hopeless. You gotta let them know.
So we're saving that much. Is that right?
Yeah.
So you'd be $3,498.35 will go away.
Plus unknown.
Plus our milk rate, but yeah.
Yep.
We'll take care of it.
Yeah.
If it's good with them, it's good with
I
us.
just wanted to try to figure out.
I understand,
Yeah,
Totally.
totally. But when we have the book to go by, we go by that, and then we have the
Understand.
process, and we come here, and then we hammer it out.
That's
That's
right,
how it works.
that's right.
My first one, so thank you.
But
Yeah.
This could have been done that night if we'd
Right.
really sat down and discussed it. and
but again, I'm
took
gonna
the whole
defend,
Situation.
If there were 3 selectmen there to make a decision,
Yeah,
perfect. When there's
And-
one,
and-
the one came in late, there wasn't one,
and,
I don't have the power.
and if you'd have just come out and looked at it, we probably could have discussed it a lot more.
I knew from driving by the buildings, they're not worth what they're being taxed on, but the book says it's got a roof, tax the money. That's where we're at. If it was common sense was allowed, it'd be a lot easier.
No, it is. Seriously, guys, it is completely understood. It really is. And like I said, the day and age where you can kind of sit down at a table and pound things out. And you can't, as a selectman, they can't make a decision. Even with two, it gets
That's why we have three.
convoluted,
All right.
you know?
Roger, do we have a deal that,
So for the record,
Acceptable
just for
for
this poor
everybody.
lady that's trying to type and the one behind you.
would be satisfied with the deal?
Yeah.
Frank, you'd be satisfied with the deal?
More than happy.
So just to consolidate all of this, so we've got it clear.
Yes.
The town of Frankfurt is in agreement that they will abate 25%, stop me anytime I'm off, 25% of the value of the buildings. And that number was 13,995.
995.
Yes, 13,995. For this tax bill that's in question.
And what is the deadline for that?
And Miss-
We Have it done.
What, oh, excuse me, have what then?
In the time that he has to have this done.
So, and,
Remove his roof?
yeah,
It would have to be done
before April
before
1st.
April first,
Before
2024.
And Mr. Martin agrees to help the roof down on and before April 1st of 2024. And he is responsible for letting the town know.
Yep.
So everybody's satisfied with this deal.
Does this make sense to everybody?
Yes.
It's a good thing.
As long as you guys are happy, I'm happy.
No, but this is the way we.
Structure's good too.
We're,
It's you guys, not
And
us.
that's
Yes.
basically on the house, because you said the garage isn't
The big garage, there are 3 buildings there,
two.
2.
But I thought one is the only one that was,
Barbara.
Was that an actual motion? Of your
Yes.
if you want that to be a motion, it will be.
yes.
I made that, yes.
And I seconded.
Thanks very
All
much.
in favor?
Well, he's got one last question. I just want to make sure right before we go. Okay. No value, NV.
That
Okay,
the
the
town
garage
gives
is
the
no
20%.
value.
Town
so
give
it's
25,
an
that's the
outbuilding out
motion
Back of
itself.
that,
Is there 16 by 30 up there?
What's that?
Is there a building that's 16 by 30 up there?
That's all one building.
oh, okay,
Oh, so they got the
We don't
NV
have
right
it.
here. Yeah.
yeah,
So you
okay.
can see Roger.
All one
Sorry if I get up. If I'm not supposed to. It's all one building. So we got NV here. So it's all one building. Be no value up here.
And then they got this up here, now this was drawn by the assessor,
Right.
the one we had in 2000.
NV's is no value. He wrote that in there.
But
I
the
don't
end
know
of
what
it,
this is.
I think
Maybe there's an
it's part
attachment
of,
to it,
yeah,
or maybe they didn't get the whole thing. I don't know for sure, but
I don't understand, I don't.
whatever this 26 by 54, 60, 72, whatever, isn't being taxed at all.
Yeah.
I don't know what, because this is the house here,
Yeah, that's a woodshed.
you know, where it's positioned here, I don't know how they figured it, I don't understand, because it's all one building, whatever that.
Yeah, and I
we'll
think they
just
just,
look at it
yeah,
if,
we'll handle it.
next year, you know.
We'll handle that.
back
I
next
just
year.
wanna make sure we're all set with the right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I
So-
read that motion back just to make
Oh,
sure I have
sorry.
it right?
Just to make sure, yeah.
Commissioner Fowler moved, Commissioner Johnson seconded to decide that the town of Frankfurt is in agreement that they would abate the value of the buildings, which is $13,995 for this tax bill in question, with the criteria being that Roger Martin would remove the roof as directed before April 1st, 2024, and he is responsible for letting the town know.
The only thing I would ask that you put in there is the 25%
Yes.
on that value.
So where do I put that?
The
The value-
We would abate the 25%.
okay,
of the value of the building.
25% of the value of the
Yes,
buildings?
Because the buildings increased by 25%.
Right, it's the building that was in.
Correct.
Right.
He was, no issues.
And is that abatement amount $13,995?
No,
No,
the abatement the amount is 25% of the $13,995. Which that's,
But
I think
back-
irrelevant to me, to us, how much the abatement is. That's
Okay,
that's in your hands.
So usually there's it stated what.
Okay.
so if I'm doing my math right, that'd be $3,498.75. If somebody wants to check my math, that'd be great.
I'm good. What was that?
$3,498.75.
3,000,
Ah,
slow.
You're fine.
$3,498.
$498.75.
So that's the abated amount,
Yes.
okay. Let me read this one more time.
Mhm.
It's important to get it right.
1,000%.
It was decided that the town of Frankfurt is in agreement that they would abate the $25,000 of the value of the buildings in the amount of $3,498.75 for this tax bill in question. And then the rest of it remains the same.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sounds like we have a deal.
Everybody satisfied?
We'll close this case again.
Are we satisfied, both sides?
I believe so.
I'm an old school. I believe in handshakes.
You and me both. My dad would slap me if I didn't.
That's right.
Appreciate your time.
That's right.
Handshakes with you guys too?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Hugs.
I'm very,
It's the holiday season.
I'm very new and I don't want to mess anything up. Thank you. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your
You
time.
let us know if you can't rip it down.
I'll give you one.
Kid.
Thank you. I appreciate your
We
time.
got a sledgehammer.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I have a tear down the roof party.
Now you can probably invite me over to do it.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you guys for what you do. That's oh God.
Nice to meet you. My pleasure.
Oh,
I moved that we close the-
I was the one
how are you guys
that-
making out on snowplow contractors?
Yeah.
We're hearing from
When you
towns,
move in-
snowplow contractors.
And we.
The cost is going through the roof.
Oh, we're in a 3 year, we're in the middle of a 3-year one now. So next year is gonna be that problem.
And we're gonna holiday, but thank you.
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Merry Christmas, guys. Thank you.
Of course,
Me, I'll walk out.
yes, of course I will. I parked in the wrong place. That's what I do.
Something fell off, I think it's your pen.
That my great niece gave that.
I had a feeling it.
Thank you.
Is this your paper?
Yes.
This is mine. And I can go ahead and.
I think I'm next. Unless I'm wrong.
Now, that was a good abatement.
Yeah, that's
That
what
was a
we
good-
had.
And I really, it's sad because you get to the point, well, we as a society have gotten to the point where you can't just sit and beat stuff around back and forth. And, you know, that was,
It's interesting. And the only reason I wanted to make sure that is something I neglected to tell you is I do the tax abatement hearings separate. But I often run them right along with the minutes, but they are done as on their own.
Oh, so you have two
minutes.
step, yeah, and I'll
Yeah, so
include that in
I'll
here.
go over that.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Do things long enough, you forget to tell people things.
Take my paper, Amy.
why do you accuse me of that?
I don't have my schedule anymore.
Look, this is my schedule because I scratched on the back of it.
Here, I can give you one. Give that to Bill. You can print another one.
Thank you.
Oh, look, here he is. No, move your foot. Look, you're driving on it. Don't get it to be throw back. Crying out loud, they're all over there.
Oh, my God. I don't have a lot of correspondence, but I'd like to just backtrack for a second and follow up on the closing of the Congress Street Hill property and the condominiums. When do you want me to reach out to Eaton Committee? I'm assuming we should go with them since they helped us set it up.
What do we need to reach out to him for?
To try to start closing down the Congress Street Hill, dissolving.
Reach out to him whenever, I think.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we voted to
I
dissolve
thought we
it,
were
so.
doing something before.
Yeah.
It's there, well, you closed down the system, I can never remember what SAM stands
Oh, we
for.
just did part of
We
it.
stopped, yes, you did,
Okay, so it's just fine.
Yeah, yeah,
yes.
no, you're fine, we
Because
dissolved it.
I thought it was done, you
Yeah.
know. I didn't
No, and I did, yeah, but it's been, I brought it up really early in the year that at some point it would need to be looked at, but everything just kind of got overrun. I'm sorry, I just closed my folder and I need it open. Stacy Grant has sent a letter asking if they can close the deeds office on December 19th from 11:30 to 1 for lunch for the
Yeah,
annual
yeah.
Christmas lunch.
Christmas party, huh?
Thank you, I'll let her know. I'm assuming probate will ask the same question.
I know they all, they will too.
Okay, so I'll let them know the same thing. They always put a note on their door. Just wanted to let you know that, on Monday, I received a freedom of access request. And I checked with the other counties and most of them have received the same request, and it is for. From the months of June first to December first of this year, they would, it's a newspaper. They would like to have all the freedom of access requests that have been requested, and they would like the responses, but without all the material. Just, they want to see what the general response was from June first to December first.
Okay, say that again now.
So they don't wanna know what the requests were, they just wanna know how many requests came into this office.
And if they were answered,
And
basically.
so you could be like, yep, there was 6, and
Oh,
they
they
were all.
want them. They want the copies of the actual requests and
Yeah.
copy of the answer, but we don't have to supply all the supporting material that might have gone to that individual. So I've got to contact all the departments and talk to them about that. I explained, it was a phone call, it came by email and then by phone call. As a follow-up, and I explained that I would be getting back to her, but that this was going to take some time, and she said she understood. I just wanted to make you aware of that.
That's kind of unusual, isn't it?
No, they're fishing,
They
that's all
just
they're
do
doing,
that.
just fishing.
No, once in a great while, we get similar things. I've never had this particular type before, but. And if, just going ahead and moving on to the next topic, for Saturday's, budget reviews, if you have anything you want to communicate to me for your budget or the records preservation budget that you would like me to have ready for you folks to go over, please let me know and I'll do whatever. But I'm gonna research and try to be ready to answer things should that come up. Specific question, but.
Whatever we say isn't gonna be enough, but
Pardon me?
whatever we say isn't gonna be enough.
I understand. Well, we'll do our
So
best.
we just fight to keep as much as we can.
We'll just do our best to explain.
Just wait for what they ask.
Yeah,
Yeah, understood, understood. I think that's all I have for you right now.
I have a difficulty when going back in, I think, 2017, Belfast budget was
Where did you get
$3.4
that
million
info? Where did you get that info? Seriously?
Oh, you go.
on the website.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Because I was like fascinated.
I mean, it's just
Well,
like.
listen, 3.4 to $18 million
Right.
in 19, and we went from 8 million to 11 million in the same time period. Guess who's running the boat? The best.
Well, that's why I pointed out that we're paying for all these permit fees. I thought that was kind of funny with the
Yeah.
bill we gave them.
Bob, I didn't hear you. Well done.
I am, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara.
Thanks, Barb. Hey, what do we eat? What are we feeding them on
Chop
Saturday?
suey, I think.
Chop suey.
I think that's a great idea, don't you?
Yeah.
Good, I think it's a good idea.
You know, as crazy as it sounds, I was
Well,
kind
in
of.
hot weather, I mean, cold weather.
Oh, it's perfect.
Good,
That
yeah.
soup.
Yeah.
But I mean, I actually thought, like it might be an idea, maybe next year we could ask different departments if they wanna supply meals, because I'm telling you, Olga is an incredible cook. I know, but
I think I picked up hamburger yesterday. So.
We're gonna wanna go back, backtrack a little bit on the county commissioners and, talk about this, tax note.
Those pictures. Those pictures,
let's go with the abatement.
go. The abatement stuff.
What were you not
Do we want to make a decision on the tax thing so we can get that
On
put
the-
away?
Tan note?
Yeah,
See how I have to read your mind? You're looking at those papers, that's how I knew.
Oh,
Should we ask Carrie to come in here for a second?
Yeah.
She might have more info.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it may get to be a little confusing, and I think there needs to be some questions asked and answered. Communication with.
Should we do an executive session very quickly with you?
Oh, then I don't wanna be. No, I don't know. What do you need?
Well, we didn't know if you'd had any opportunity for reflection
On the
on
tan?
the tan.
Yes,
Would you
I-
like to talk to us about it in an executive
Yes.
session? I make a motion, we go into executive session, Title 1, 405, subsection.
Public information.
Part of it. Thank you, Sherry,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Thank you.
and we'll get this motion for you and you can,
Oh, and I'll
Take it to the
contact
bank.
Pittman.
Well, with the finance director's careful study and recommendation, I make a motion that we accept the bid from First National Bank
And I'll
The
second
Senate.
that.
on the tan. Yep.
On the TN account, okay.
And
That's the
I
action.
will. I'll contact our, Dan Pittman, with the winning bid and.
Yep.
Move from there.
Yeah, because your name has to go on the tan.
It does.
Yeah, you sign up your house, your child, your husband. It's not all bad, Carrie.
No,
It's not all bad.
My husband, my daughter.
so I just got one other
Thank
thing
you.
to take up before we go into executive
Hey,
session.
Carrie.
No.
Okay.
no, it's not.
I
Um,
can shut this off now?
Yeah.
I've been working with Jason on a budget. That's what these figures are. And so my deal was we want to fund this sort of future technology. So, he talks to the budget committee, only talk about the $200 or $205 that he's got for labor agreement and et cetera, not get them mixed up. But you got no business in it because it's gonna come from future technology.
Well, I mean, the budget committee, I wouldn't think would be asking about this because it's not in our budget.
I'm just
Right.
doing that for your information.
Yeah,
Just for us.
yeah.
But when, after it's all done, this will be his budget for next year. All right? Okay. All right, I guess we're ready.
Carrie, for my own personal reflection. For my own very personal reflection, if Friday, are you here Friday? That's tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
would you, Friday afternoon before you leave, would you print up the most recent year-to-dates
Yes.
for me?
Yep.
I mean, you can do it for all of us. It doesn't matter. I just want to know like, once the bills are paid.
Sure. I
Okay.
can do that.
Okay.
Anything else that you want? Do you-
No, I'm just gonna talk about you at random to the budget committee and say things about you because you're not there. So anyway,
Oh, gee.
have a great day.
Nice threat, Amy.
I'm being mature.
You are.
So, this next executive session will be
All right,
just the
so
three of us.
Okay, so I'll pack up. You don't
Yeah.
need me anymore.
Well, no, you might want to come back because we have got to do multiple ones and we might have
so
some stuff to record.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say executive session at 11:04.
okay, so you don't want the computer turned off. You want me to just do what I did.
Yeah, to turn it right off.
These, I was gonna say, we have 3 scheduled, so I make a motion. We shut down our technology and deal with our executive sessions and we will call Susan back in to record
The action.
verbally.
Yeah,
Okay,
Okay, so we're going to.
We're shutting it off.
okay.
Adjourn
yeah.
this part.
Can I leave this here in case I have to type something about the
Sure.
action? I'll leave that. I'll just leave everything. Okay.
So I am going to end.
Landing on my desk.